And we are live. What is going on, LBHT crew? What is going on, Ravens Nation? Man, oh man, it is Thursday. We don't stream on Thursday at any time. So if we're
Sure don't.
streaming, we sure don't. And if we're streaming on Thursday, that means something happened. There we go. And mute that. That means something happened. Something big happened. And the Ravens decided on our day off that they were going to announce their new coaching hire. Yes, you guys know by now, Jesse Minter, former defensive coordinator of the Los Angeles Chargers, is our new head coach. There's been some mixed feelings about that. Let me say what's up to the chat real quick as everybody finds the way here. Tell me what's going on. Thanks for coming through, JR. Salute. He says it's mint condition. Okay, mint condition. All right. That's the name. DDSQ. What's going on? Salute. We got Killer Cam in the house. It's Ola Jose and Mucho Gusto Brodny.
Nice to meet you, Cam.
He also says that he likes to hire, but hates to hire. Okay. All right. We got J Ray Vision. Says, what up, Flock? Hey, what's going on with you, Jay? We got Nitro from the Wonderkin Show. Says, what's up, gentlemen? What's going on, Nitro? I saw you streaming earlier as well. Stretch, salute. Appreciate you coming through. One of our newest Patreon members. Appreciate that. Yes. Shout out to everybody that signed up recently. Stretch signed up. Mark 2K6 and
the great ones.
The great ones signed up. Appreciate all of you. Thank you. And I'm gonna take the second to plug it. Patreon.com/LBHTShow. That's the pin link that you see in your chat box. As little as $5 a month. All right. And they got to see what the overtime show was like last night. It was a lot of fun. You don't want to miss that. Well worth the price of admission. All right. Also, I gotta give a shout out. Today's my son's birthday. Happy birthday, David. He ain't watching this. He watching everything. He watching wrestling highlights and everything. But happy birthday! It was my nephew Kyron's birthday yesterday, so happy birthday to him as well.
Happy birthday, Kyron.
All right, and also my sister. Her birthday is today.
What?
Yes, my older sister Nana. Happy birthday, Nana.
Happy birthday.
All of them are not watching the show, but
right. That's okay.
Do
what they want on their birthday.
Huh?
They can do what they want.
Yeah, they do what they want. Exactly.
And we don't stream on Thursdays.
We don't stream. Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. Tyree says, "All right, fellas, what's good? What's good, Ty? What's good? Thanks for coming through." Hendo, yes, happy birthday. Hendo just streamed with Yolanda. Great turnout over there. I love to see it. Flex Zone says, "Happy birthday." And what's up, fellas? What's going on, Flex Zone?
Flex.
Yes. Agnes is here. What's going on, Agnes? Says happy birthday, son, nephew, and sis. Yes. Thank you. Hey, what's going on? Says Kingsbury is coming home. Maybe.
All right, Felipe always trying to rile people up.
Well, okay. I guess is there a video or something like that where Lamar's talking about wanting Kingsbury?
I haven't seen anything like that, but I don't know.
Or is there a video of him talking about it, or somebody said that he would prefer Kingsbury as offensive coordinator? I don't know. I didn't see it, but apparently that's the news that's going around out there. We'll talk about that in a second. It may not be the worst thing in the world, right? We'll talk about that. Let me get some more shout outs here. Hey, yo, Fonz, what's going on?
Oh, sorry.
What's up, B?
There's a tweet from Russell Street Report with Diana Rossini where she says, "I know for a fact that Lamar Jackson and those receivers would like Cliff Kingsbury to run their offense. They've shown support. They've been vocal about it. From what I understand, he would be Weaver's offensive coordinator."
They've been vocal about it when?
I don't know, man. You gotta ask Diane about that.
Listen, I'm not saying this isn't true. I just don't really trust anybody from ESPN right now. They all of them have put out misinformation during this whole process, right? Even the ones that I like, they're putting stuff out there and just like, you're completely wrong on that, And of course they'll say, well, that's what I'm hearing. Okay, well, did you hear this? You know what I'm saying? Like, did you get a quote Like if you're saying multiple wide receivers and Lamar are saying like they want him or whatever, did you actually get a quote, or did you hear that secondhand? Right? Who'd you hear from? Mike Preston? Right? But maybe it's true. Maybe it's true. I don't know what relationship they have with Kingsbury, or they just kind of watch the tape and they really like his style. I mean, all right. I mean, listen, if that's what they prefer and they think it's going to work, then we'll see. Praveen with the all caps, what's going on? Says new Ravens coach is from Harbaugh's past and the Ravens present. Will Jesse Minter change the future of the Ravens for better or worse? Well, we'll find out. I think a lot of you that are kind of on the fence or that just don't like the pick is because he came from Harbaugh's coaching tree. Some, I would say both. Jim, Jim and John, but you all wanted Mike Macdonald a couple of years ago.
Yeah, but Mike Macdonald's a better defensive coordinator than Jesse Minter. This is not a couple of years ago. Jesse Minter wasn't the best defensive coach available. So
no,
it's a different situation.
What's different is you guys are completely done with John Harbaugh now. That's the difference, right? Like if Jesse Minter had no ties to Harbaugh whatsoever, same resume, everybody be like, all right, cool.
It'd be fine. Again, he wouldn't have been my first choice, but it's the perception that you hired him because you know him.
Yes,
and like I said, and that perception is there because one, a whole lot of people predicted as soon as you moved on from John Harbaugh that he was going to be the hire, even though you interviewed 5,000 people, and then also, like I said, he was not the best defensive coach available. That was Brian Flores. And you did not hire Brian Flores, right? You send him on back to be the defensive coordinator in Minnesota. So it looks like you hired him because you know him.
It does, yes, it does, it does. And if that's the reason, fine. But like you hear people's reasons in the chat, that's not why they're saying that.
And also, there's the report out there that they wanted to talk to some of the other coaches who are still coaching this weekend, and they were scared of losing Jesse Minter, so they didn't want to wait. And listen, if he wasn't your first choice, then wait and talk to the other coaches.
And listen,
that's an NFL problem more than a Ravens problem.
I'm not trying to defend it, but if he is your first choice, but you want to do your due diligence, right? Then you make a move like that. And according to Jason Locke-4, I know you guys hate him, but it seems like he was right on this. He was always the choice, right? But that's part of doing your due diligence. I like this guy. Like, this is who we want, but we are going to make sure we talk to these other coaches and make sure we're not missing out on something special, right? And I think that's what they're trying to do. But, yeah, hey, he's getting some of the offers now. Okay, well, let's stop playing around. We know we want him. Let's go ahead and hire him, right? That's what it feels like.
Sure, but again, that feeds right back into, hey, we knew that we wanted this guy, so that you didn't really have a coaching search. You put on a little show, and you knew who you were hiring from the beginning. And I think that's what just leaves a bad taste in people's mouth.
Yeah. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, right? Like, you see somebody that you really feel strong about. Like, we are all talking about Brian Flores. If they would have hired Brian Flores a week into the process, nobody would question it, right? If they like, hey, we knew from the jump Brian Flores was the guy, right? Because we like Brian Flores better, But I respect the fact that they're like, hey, we're going to take our time and just make sure this is the guy we absolutely want.
And look, they know Jesse Minter, right?
Yes.
Like he coached in Baltimore for several years. He coached under John Harbaugh and Mike Macdonald. Then he went and coached under Jim. They know Jim pretty well too. So they have a great understanding of the kind of coach and kind of person that Jesse Minter is. And look, maybe he is the best guy for the job. Maybe he is going to be a great coach. Maybe he is a special talent like Mike Macdonald turned out to be. And that's just what they feel. And that's fine. Again, it's just the perception, how it looks from the outside is, well, you moved on from Harbaugh because we all got real angry at the end of the season, but you're not really moving on from that philosophy and that style because, you're still keeping it in-house.
Yeah.
It's how it looks.
Yeah. Flex Zone says they're not happy. Agnes says, "What do we expect? Come on, y'all. This is the Ravens way." Hey, listen, I'm not here to defend this organization. They have to go out there and prove that they made the right choice. What's going on, cousin Davon?
What's up, Davon?
Ashley, what's going on? Says, "Be happy with what we got." Flex, talking to the Flex Zone. Hey, Bazel, I see you in here. What's going on, Bazel? Martavius going on says Harbaugh and Mentor are different though. I would think they were different.
I mean, they're certainly different people. I mean,
Yeah.
But listen, I'll say one thing. I am certain that your defense is not going to be an embarrassment next year.
Yes.
So that's nice. And Lamar, assuming you take care of the O-line, Lamar will take care of the offense regardless of who you hire as the offensive coordinator.
Well, okay, so we'll talk about that. Pepper Rain Podcast, what's going on? Appreciate you coming through. You and I have discussed this before.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, like, just because a coach is an offensive-minded coach or defensive-minded coach doesn't mean they're going to neglect the other side of the ball, right?
Yeah.
Now we hope the hope is whatever they're good at, they kind of create that architect for that side of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So if we got a offensive guy, they instill a system there that they can pass on to their coordinators and position coaches. So as coaches come up and leave, they can easily replace them because they're running that side of the ball. Yeah. So it looks like, Jesse Mentor, he's a defensive guy. We're hoping that he can do that on that side of the ball. That doesn't mean he's going to neglect the offensive side of the ball. Right. And I said this in Yolanda's chat earlier. The greatest defense of all time in NFL was headed by an offensive head coach.
Yeah, and one of the worst offenses too.
And one of the worst offenses.
And he was also a brilliant offensive coordinator when he had he had all the receivers and the quarterback in Minnesota, but not so much in Baltimore.
And Sutton says, "I know Jose punching the air right now. Hashtag defense. I'm not punching the air. No. What you specialize in as a coordinator does not determine what you're going to be as a head coach, right? Head coach is a different thing.
Yeah, and I said this on the show before that everybody who watches this channel would be shocked to know that we both actually prefer defensive teams. It just hasn't worked in Baltimore, and like the way they were going about it hasn't worked. But the league is swinging back more towards a defensive dominant kind of structure. And listen. The positive, because like I said, Jesse Mentor wasn't my first choice. I would have preferred Brian Flores. I would have preferred Clint Kubiak. But what I do like is that they hired a young coach who is a little more forward thinking. They didn't go and say, hey, we're gonna, like Pittsburgh's about to do, we're gonna go grab Mike McCarthy because he got it done 15 years ago, and we're gonna see if he still got it. They went. Okay. And they hired a young coach, somebody who the game hasn't passed by, essentially, right? So I understand the kind of the feelings of the Ravens fans and being hesitant about Jesse Mentor because of the way it looks. And hey, this guy was here in Baltimore. He coached under Harbaugh, and we knew it was going to be this this guy is the hire, or Anthony Weaver, who was one of the other finalists. But Jesse Mentor is a talented coach, right? He's shown that with the Chargers. They have a lot of talent on the defensive side of the ball. He's already coordinated a top defense, not the best defense, but a top defense with the Chargers there. If they can, like I said, if Eric DeCosta does his job and fixes the O-line this offseason, the Ravens should be right back on track to being a contender. Now, maybe not for the Super Bowl next year. There's a lot of moving parts, a lot of change right now, and it might take a little while to acclimate, but they're not going to be down for long. With the division they're in, they should win the division next year. And be back to being a Super Bowl contender very, very soon.
Yeah. And we got a super chat. Salute to DJ Amp. Appreciate that. It says, you think they chose him before they fired Harps?
I don't think so. I think that they had a legitimate search. It just doesn't look like it from the outside. But I think that they went in and they said, yeah, maybe they had a preference for Jesse Minter because again, they know him. He was there for a long time. But I think they conducted a legitimate search. They talked to a lot of people, and if somebody else came in with a better plan and a better interview and all that, then they would have been the coach. But they ended up with Jesse.
Hey, it's my friend Damien. What's going on, Damien?
What's up, Damien?
Says, hey fellas, I remember when they said Harbaugh was just a special teams coach. Let's give the new guy some time, not too much. Yeah,
funny. Your special teams suck.
Well, they didn't always suck.
They do now. They did recently. But
well, 18 years later. But no, absolutely. Like, yeah, we have to give him some time, or at least let him get in the building, right? And we gotta see what he can do. But I am okay with the criticism. I welcome that. Like this is what me and B have been saying since we've been on YouTube, is hold your team accountable. That's what good fans do. If you don't like the pick and you're like, I don't trust this guy, good. That and that's kind of like the feeling for Ravens fans. That puts more pressure on him early on. That means he understands I can't be coming in here and just chilling and I'm here for a good time. Like I gotta hit the ground running. Yeah. So yes, criticize the move, criticize the front office, and make them go out there and prove us wrong, or prove y'all wrong. Because I think I like Jesse Minter.
Thank you,
Ty Riggs, appreciate the super chat.
It says I'm cool with Mint as long as we hit on OC. So yeah, there's talk about Joe Brady, the offensive coordinator from Buffalo via Carolina. You're welcome.
Yeah.
But I'll say Joe Brady is a good offensive coordinator. I know that people and a lot of the fans of Baltimore are not on board with that, but he is a good offensive coordinator. He's been around a bit. He was in New Orleans with Sean, not Payton, but he was with New Orleans. He was in Carolina. Like I said, he was in at LSU when they won the championship. So he's got a good amount of experience. He's a good coach. If it's true that Lamar and the receivers want Cliff Kingsbury, I don't like Cliff Kingsbury, but I would lean heavily towards Cliff Kingsbury, especially in your current situation where you kind of need to have Lamar happy, at least in the short term.
He didn't do a bad job with Kyler Murray. I think that's probably the best he's looked was with Cliff Kingsbury. Yeah. I don't think he's anything special, but no. I don't think he's worse than what we had here either. No. And again, it comes down to the head coach, because what we had here with Monken and G-Roll, it still could have worked if we had better situational coaching, right?
Oh, and better talent.
Yeah, and better talent. Yes, for sure. So, listen, if that's what they want, and if they feel confident in Cliff Kingsbury, we don't like Cliff Kingsbury, but we don't have to like him. The players have to like him, and they have to be able to execute his offense. It has to work, right? They have to make it work. What's going on, Living Legend? Thanks for coming through. Ropa says he did well in Jaden's first year. Yeah, he did. This is true. Kyle Murray was cursing him out. Okay. He probably told him to get off the video game.
Yeah, it happens. Whatever.
Hey, appreciate Ty Riggs for being a new member. Salute to you. All right, listen.
Thank you.
That gets you access to the Overtime Show. All right. I didn't mention this earlier, but yes, channel memberships will also get you access to the Overtime Show. And if you look in the community posts, the community tabs, all the members only posts, you will see links to all of our Overtime shows that we've posted since we started channel memberships, at least. Also, patreon.com/LBHTShow. That's the pin link that you see in the chat box. There's multiple tiers on that. For the memberships, it's just a $5 tier. On Patreon, it goes from $5 all the way up to $20. The $10 tier will get you one of these coins. I got 2 to send out to people. I'm gonna send it out this week. We'll see how the snow's looking, though. You might not get until next week. Yeah. Retired Gunny, also a new member. Hey, salute to you, Retired Gunny. Appreciate that. Thanks for signing up. Who else we got in here? Lamar ain't serious. Yeah, of course Lamar's serious. Of course Lamar's serious. Wes, what's going on? Says that's the thing we forget. Lamar probably likes the guy and the OC that's going to come with him, and you will know if he doesn't by if he requests a trade. Yeah, at this point, I don't think that, you have people talking about them trading him. They're working towards getting a new deal done. I think that's going to be the next thing that you hear about is an extension done. I think that's going to. I don't think they're going to drag that out this time. That's going to get done fairly soon.
Yeah, and Cliff Kingsbury, his offenses have been pretty decent, at least in his first year, and then pretty garbage in his second year. But in both places, in Arizona and in Washington, after he had the really good year, his quarterback got hurt the following year. Jaden missed a lot of the season. Kyler played most of the season, but he was banged up as well and missed about 6 or 7 games. So their rankings kind of plummeted. But the offensive coordinator, if Cliff Kingsbury can do anything, it's be the offensive coordinator. You don't want to hire him as the head coach. That doesn't work. But he is a bright offensive mind. A lot of people like him. That's why he's been failing up for quite a few years now. So, like I said, if Lamar and the receivers want him and like him, then it's a good idea to bring in a coach that will have a good relationship with them.
Yeah. Kwame says he wants the Panthers offensive coordinator.
Yeah, hands off. No, I mean, listen, you can have the Panthers offensive coordinator. I don't care about that dude. Is it? Whatever. Yeah. I mean, Canales running that offense.
Yeah. And Tiger, salute. Thanks for coming through. Bazel says Pittsburgh is known for promoting within. That's why, if you notice, Tomlin never had a big name assistant coach. It's the same thing with the Ravens. We're big on promoting from within, and it's good if you have a good system. At least on one side of the ball, right, where you can kind of churn out coaches and bring the next one up. But we didn't have that here, so it wasn't a good thing. But every coach does it. That's not a Raven thing. That's every coach in the league. They want their guys. They bring up their guys. If they go somewhere else, they bring some of their guys with them. So that's just what it is. And we'll see. Like, we're talking about Cliff Kingsbury because that seems like that's the obvious move, but that may not happen. So we'll see. I'm not too worried about that. Defensive coordinator. Nobody's really talking about that. Who could he bring with him to be the defensive coordinator?
Look, I'm still gonna. I know he's interviewing elsewhere, but I'm still gonna say Al Harris. Go get him.
Okay. I would think, because he is a defensive guy, and we think he's going to, be very hands-on on the defense. I can see him pulling somebody from the Chargers, like a DB coach or a linebacker coach or somebody like that he can kind of groom to, be that guy. Jonathan Washington Jr., what's going on? Says Kingsbury offense reminds me of a slightly better G-Row system. RPOs, bubble screens, QB, and shotgun 98% of plays. If Lamar likes him, then so be it. But I think that West Coast zone run scheme is the way. I think I think Lamar can make any offense work. It's just about protecting them, right?
Yeah,
and getting creative, But yeah, I hear you.
And like you said before, where the Ravens are really, and this is all coaching, right? Because any scheme can and will work if you have the requisite talent. Where the Ravens have failed before was situational coaching, and I'm gonna be honest. I haven't paid close enough attention to Arizona and Washington to know how Cliff did in those moments. But hopefully, Jesse Minter is better at it than John Harbaugh was. So
yeah, that's the hope. We still got to see. What's going on, Urban? Says y'all hit the like button or get jumped by Fells Point Mafia. Hey, Fells Point Mafia. Where is it? Do I have it up here? There we go. There you go. You get your shirt. Get your shirt. LBHTShow.com. You can get that right on the store. All right, get that right on the store. Fells Point Mafia. Yes. And I see Iron Addict. Thanks for coming through. But yeah, I mean, look, like I said, if you don't like the pick, that's fine. If you like the pick, that's fine. That's the thing when you're getting first time head coaches. You don't really know. You might feel good about them. You may not feel good about them, but ultimately they have to go out there and prove it. I am not really arguing with anybody. I'll ask, why don't you like them? I'm curious about that. Like, why don't you like them?
Mm-hmm.
You know, if it's just because he's a hardball guy, I understand. But just remember, we wanted a hardball guy here, right? So that can't be like the sole reason why you don't like it, right? If you just don't think you.
To be fair, you wanted an elite defensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that Jason Minster has proven to be an elite defensive coordinator.
Look, time out. Mm-hmm. Like we put Mike Macdonald on a pedestal. He like was he the elite defensive coordinator? He had
his second year. It was
his second year.
Yeah,
his first year.
His first year. I mean, his first year is his first year. Most people aren't very good at their job in their first year in the NFL. And in his second year, they went from, kind of embarrassing to the best defense in the league.
Second best. The Chiefs had the best defense.
No, they had the number one defense by points in the league. They gave up, I think it was 17 points a game that year.
Yeah. We didn't get that many turnovers. We did
sure
get turnovers in the playoffs.
Sure.
So that's what I'm saying.
That's almost more impressive. All right? you can just keep people from scoring without taking the ball away.
He's an excellent defensive coordinator, right? Yeah. But
then of course, obviously this is hindsight, because now he's gone to Seattle and made them a top defense almost immediately, and
a very good offense too.
And they're in the conference championship game. And
a very good offense. And I wanted to bring this up because, I was looking at some of these other streams and I see people say, hey, they chose defense over offense because they got a defensive coach and the offense is going to fall to the wayside. That's why I made a comment on Yolanda's stream and Hendo's stream earlier that, hey, just because a coach one side of the ball does not mean they're going to neglect the other side of the ball. In fact, let's pull this up. That's kind of small if you guys can see it. These are the top offenses in the regular season, and it's sorted by yards per game. I can sort it by points per game. But, you see the Rams, Sean McVay, obviously, like he's an offensive guy. The Cowboys, and then look at number 3.
And 4.
And 4. And 5. All defense, all coaches with defensive backgrounds.
Was a guy, though.
Was he? Oh, offensive guy. My bad. Yeah. He was tight end. But yeah, 3 and 4.
And then Mike Macdonald not too far down there, and that's with Sam Darnold.
Right, with Sam Darnold. So that doesn't
Denver
necessarily
on that list too. But I mean, obviously Peyton's an offensive coach, but I mean Denver's on that list with Bo Nix out there. That's impressive.
Yeah. So just because, so you got 3 guys in the top 10 that were defensive coaches. So that doesn't necessarily mean that coach is going to neglect the offense, right? Mm-hmm. So I mean that's my point. That's all the only point I want to make is that don't just write it off just because he coaches defense.
Yeah,
there we go.
Man,
there we go.
It's crazy. No, it's this one.
Yeah, I knew it. All right. Deshaun, hey, what's going on? It says also worth noting, McDaniel to LA hasn't been made official. Low key think he's still in play for our OC. Oh, okay.
Well, no,
good to see you, Deshaun.
I think he's like Flores. He's agreed to it. He's holding out for a head coaching job.
Yeah.
He is their offensive coordinator if he doesn't get a head coaching job, is what I've seen, but maybe not. That's what's going on with Flores in Minnesota.
Jonathan Washington says, I could see Ravens giving Davis Webb a OC job as well. Is he a coordinator right now?
He is not. He's an assistant, and he's still playing, so they can't really they can't talk to him right now.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, listen, they got their head coach out the way. We'll see what they do for coordinators. But like I said, don't completely write him off in terms of what he can do for the offense. I hope Lamar took Steve Bisciotti up on his offer and sat in on these interviews, you know, and got to speak to Jesse Minter. I mean, he already knew Jesse Minter from before. He was on the team when Minter was a DB coach, I believe. Right.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I think, yeah, his first 2 years, I want to say, he was here. Don't quote me on that, but I think it was his first 2 years. So he already has some, you know, a relationship with them. So I'm not mad at it. Obviously not my first choice, but that's never how it is with these things, right? Like they never get the guy exactly what you want, especially the whole coaching staff that you want, you know. But
I wanted Dave Canales.
That was the coach you wanted?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, congratulations.
Thank you. It's working out.
I mean, it took like 8 years, but
you know what? Jay-Z ain't build Rome in a day, did he? Jay-Z ain't build Rome in a day. So whatever. Okay.
Oh, 3 years. Okay, first 3 years. Yeah. So yeah. He knows him well. He knows him well.
I gotta say too, I hate the fact that Cliff Kingsbury is in these talks, because I remember playing as Cliff Kingsbury in one of the old NCAA games, and I'm like, you can't be a 46-year-old coach now, because I'm not that old. It's not good. I don't like it.
Let's see. Do you expect him to go 500 or better in year one?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And listen, the coaching staff is part of it. What they do in the offseason is another part of it as well, right? Because what we saw this year when Lamar wasn't 100% and had to sit out a couple of games was that this wasn't a well-constructed team, right? Some of these guys, like, we have to figure out who has talent but just wasn't coached up well, and who are the ones that we say have talent but don't actually have talent. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some of those guys on this team as well, and we have to figure that out. So that, you know, we got to do that. We have to get the right free agents. We have to draft well, you know, make the right moves, and then yes. But at the end of the day, keep Lamar upright. We're going to win a lot of games, and I think players are just going to play more inspired football because it's a new face there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
energize the organization.
Yeah, you know? Yeah.
They won't have that same complacent energy, at least at the beginning. And you know, again, to answer the question, I fully expect them to have double-digit wins next year. Like, they're too talented a team not to.
I kind of feel that way, but I want to see what moves they make this offseason before I make that prediction.
Listen, right? They were terrible this season, right?
Yes.
If Lamar doesn't get hurt, they have double-digit wins this year.
That's true. This is true. Flagship was going on says, I'm a Kubiak guy, but here's the thing. He's kind of a Mike Mack merchant. I know they both benefit from each other, but something to note, Mack's defense this year has given Clint short fields a lot.
Yeah, but Clint's he's been successful elsewhere as well. But yes, that's certainly a thing. But the hope is that Baltimore's defense, with all those first round picks in the secondary, will be giving the offense short fields, right?
Yeah. So yeah, it's time to get a player or coach in here that can get the most out of these players, and I think Jesse Minter is going to do that with his coaching staff. Highlights of Falala. See, there you go with the names. See, needs to be shown for future O linemen or what not to do. See, Ty, this is exactly what we were talking about yesterday, right? We're like, hey, when we say things on the show, like, you guys always, we are the most negative. We are the most negative people you guys see when it comes to draft time, because everybody wants to feel good about the draft picks. And when me and B say we don't like that pick, you guys are like, man, you're so negative. You guys are so negative, right? When we say, hey, where's the O-line? We've been saying that for 2 years in a row. Where's the O-lineman? We need to go O-line, right? And you guys say, oh, well, Voorhees going to work out. And we're like, no, he's not. Voorhees is not good, right? There's a reason why he's a 7th round pick. No, Falele, you know, he might show some flashes, but he's not the guy. You got to get some guys that you're certain about. We're being negative. But then when they show you that they're not good, you guys go you go from defending him, attacking us, to let's call him some names. Let's shame this man, right? You call him every name in the book. Master B, what's going on? Thank you for the super chat. Says, can you explain the love for Cliff? I don't get it. And he's being liked to the Ravens, and some want him.
Thank you very much for the super chat.
Yes, thank you.
The answer is no.
The answer is no.
Cannot explain it. But it is what it is.
I mean, players just might like him, you know. So I don't know. And again, maybe short term it'll work. Long term, probably not. But yeah, this is what it is. Some players just look at
parties at his house. His house looks amazing.
Yeah, it does. Would you trade for Keon Coleman? I was Jetta's or AJ Brown. Why are we putting Keon Coleman next to those?
Keon Coleman
why is he on that list? Let's get Jetta's, AJ Brown, or
because hey, getting Keon Coleman for a 7th is just as good as getting Jefferson for a 1st. Again, thank you very much. Good luck to Minter. Is Flores really serious candidate, or are they just messing with him? I think mostly messing with him.
Yeah,
mostly.
I think I don't think they're messing with him. I think teams are intrigued, but listen, the lawsuit is there and they're kind of scared, right? Like they're very conservative with those type of things, but they are intrigued by him as a head coach. And I think they kind of want to feel too, like I'm pretty sure in some shape, form, or fashion, they have kind of hinted to him, if you drop this case, we can hire you. It'll be easier for us to hire you. You know?
Yeah, I think they're interviewing him to keep up appearances and have no intention of hiring him.
Could be that too. Could be that too. I will not disagree with that. Keon Coleman's owner would give him away for free. Doesn't mean you want him.
Yeah, he sucks, Kwame.
He doesn't suck, but
yes, he does. Listen, you saw. We went over this before. Like he went off on Baltimore and he disappeared for the next 17 weeks.
No.
Yes, he did. Go look it up.
He showed up in the playoffs though.
I said the next 17 weeks. I didn't say anything about the week after that.
Well, that's because they kept on deactivating him.
No, he was active. Okay, he was active. He was just trash.
He had 38 catches, 404 yards, 4 touchdowns. All right. What did Rashad Bateman have?
He had 50 yards in one game, and that was against Baltimore, where he went over 100 and a touchdown.
He went off in the playoffs though, till his quarterback failed him.
Wow.
D-Hop definitely needs to come back. Ashley, I don't think so.
And by the way, he did not go off in the playoffs. He had 46 yards in the playoffs.
How many touchdowns?
1.
Went off. Let's see. Can we get a look? Can we get a list of free agent wide receivers? D-Hop can't be. He can't be a definite. Has to come back. I like D-Hop. That's one of my favorite wide receivers ever.
Yeah, but he's D-hopped now. Like he's not D-hop anymore. Like it was years ago that y'all should have signed him, but you didn't.
Yeah. I like him. If he comes back, all right, man. But I don't know. I just feel like overall, we can really do better. George Pickens is what we need to focus on. Romeo Doubs is a unrestricted free agent. Mike Evans, Jawan Jennings, Christian Kirk. Alec Pierce,
the best deep receiver in the league.
Wan'Dale Robinson, Deebo Samuel, Rashid Shaheed. I thought the Seahawks just signed him.
No, they traded for him.
They traded for him.
Yeah, they would be fools to let him walk, just like the Saints were fools to trade him.
Tyreek Hill, Calvin Ridley.
Do they let him play with prosthetics? Or is Tyreek gonna have to go to a different league?
When is he supposed to how long is he supposed to be out for?
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know how long it takes to grow a leg.
Oh, I be saying is not happy. Oh, he is mad. Amp likes your D-Hop joke. He got that. Hey, we got 200 people in here. Make sure you hit that like button. If you're new in here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Thank you for helping us get to 3,000 subscribers. We are well on our way to 4,000. So let's speed up the process. All right. Tell your friends, family, and loved ones about the show.
I know you didn't mention Dorch the Torch.
Greg Dorch. I didn't go all the way down the list. I just kind of
you shouldn't have.
Aofon says T.O. is a ripe age for EDC. Like he's already Hall of Fame bound. Facts. What's going on, Yolanda? Thanks for coming through. Ravens talk with Yolanda. She was live with Hendo earlier, breaking this all down. How much you want to bet Pittsburgh gets Shula? I swear, as much as we don't like them, they are our doppelganger.
Yeah. But again, that comes down to how long teams are willing to wait, because the Rams might be busy for another few weeks, and you can't talk to them until their season is over, which is such a ridiculous rule in the NFL.
Yeah. What do you think about Marvin Harrison Jr., Jose? He could be a killer like his dad.
In what sense?
I like Marvin Harrison Jr. And if they're willing, I don't think they'll be willing to trade him. But hey, you know what? But I like what you're thinking, Kwame. You ask.
If he hadn't had that little bounce back towards the second half of the season, I think they would have looked to trade him.
Yeah,
but you could probably still have him.
But hey, those are the moves that you try to make and say, hey, how do you?
If you can't get him, Michael Wilson is a very good receiver.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
And I know they'll trade him because they're stupid.
Has Tom Monken been fired?
No.
Yeah.
He hasn't been fired, but he's out interviewing for jobs.
So is he? So he's still technically on the team?
Yeah, technically, I think. And just like a lot of the staff is, like they said that Harbaugh asked to take I don't know, a dozen or more staffers with him, and they let him take some. They blocked others, and they're kind of waiting until they made their hire to have the new head coach decide who he wanted to keep.
Gotcha.
So Todd Monken, I don't think has been officially fired, but he is obviously interviewing for jobs, and he's likely to go to the Giants, they say.
Okay. All right. Yep. Garrett Wilson's another person I'd be calling about.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think AJ Brown would end up in Buffalo. I don't think AJ Brown's going anywhere.
I mean, they asked him about that. They asked Howie about that. And he said, we're in the business of finding great players. Great players are hard to find, and he's a great player, blah, blah, blah. So he didn't say no, but, he was trying to send the message that we're not looking to trade him. But he didn't say, no, we're not going to trade him. I think they would be open to it.
Oh, listen, nobody's untouchable for Howie Roseman, right? But that's his way of saying, what's your offer? Right, yeah. Because if you give us a good enough offer, we can go and get somebody that's AJ Brown like.
What he said is, not to you, beat reporter, but if a GM calls me, then possibly I will trade AJ Brown.
We don't get rid of our guys for pennies, right? Yeah. We're trying to get stars here, and he's a star. And if we can't get somebody that's comparable to him, then he's not going anywhere. I don't care if he yells at the coach on the sideline. The coach going to get fired next year anyway.
I'll tell you what, the way he played in that playoff game, Xavier Legette looking pretty comparable. So
you don't want AJ Ashley? Why? Is because he yelled at the coach? Man, players get heated. It gets a little heated sometimes. Don't worry about that.
And you know what? He should yell at them, because you saw the head coach sprint down the sideline to yell at him, to get in his face.
Yeah, I don't know what he did. Like some say, he wasn't getting out the field when he's supposed to get off the field. Or I don't know.
I don't care. Don't sprint down the field and start yelling in my face when you already look like the biggest douchebag on the planet.
I don't care about the interaction at all. Those things happen all the time in football. I don't care about that. And your coach can't be no more diva wide receivers. Can we get one first before we say no more?
Right. You ain't never had a diva wide receiver.
Yeah.
Actually, when they have an attitude without the talent, they're just a problem. They just suck.
Yeah, they're just bad.
When they're great, then they're divas. You ain't had no diva wide receivers.
Oh no. Kayam says Xavier is his cousin.
My bad, Kyle.
See, I never say anything about Xavier.
I'm pulling for him. I'm not gonna lie. But I am rooting for him every week. But
yeah, listen, we don't want any more smoke with receivers and relatives.
Tell your boy to lock in. All right.
But no, look, I don't care about attitudes if you can go out there and play. If you can go out there and make plays, I do not care about the other stuff. We are adults, and your head coach needs to be able to handle strong personalities. That's the biggest problem with John Harbaugh. He can't handle it. Ayuk is so Tyrese. Ayuk is that type of play. He's the first wide receiver that we were talking about when you're a problem and you can't play. He physically cannot play.
He's still a football player,
right? Ayuk has some skill, but I haven't seen him play in 2 years. So I can't,
Ashley says, would he mesh with our guys? What guys? You don't have any guys.
I think he would. Actually, I think he would get along fine with Zay Flowers, and we don't need to mention anybody else. Right. We don't need to mention anybody else. Tez Walker, I think he'll be fine. I don't think. First of all, I don't think he has. What problem does he have with players in Philly?
Jalen Hurts the fraud.
Jalen Hurts is not a fraud. Yes, they go back. He's not a fraud. Yeah, they go back and forth. But I haven't heard any issues with within a locker room with other wide receivers or anything like that. Or tight end. I don't think it's a problem. You definitely can't listen to this media these days. They will just straight up make up stories. So. No, okay. He doesn't like when he doesn't get the ball his way. He says, "Hey, I'm always open. Throw me the ball. I'm not getting the ball enough." But they're winning a lot of games, and as long as they're still winning, I just don't see them putting him on the market.
Well, they wasn't winning this year, so.
They were winning. They won a lot still.
Not up to their standard. They're not counting regular season wins. They're looking for playoff wins. So I think he would be had if you make the right offer.
So you don't want those moments where he blows up on the sideline or he's mad because he didn't get the ball. Would you rather have that, or would you rather have Rashad Bateman just out there, but he's not causing any trouble?
Appreciate.
He said, "Nah, I'm with you." He got locked in.
I remember. Hold on, we got a super chat here. Thank you very much, IB fan. He says, so let me understand. You'd rather pick from this tree than pick from this tree? Please, stupid. All right. Well, that's not nice, but thank you very much.
Hey, McDonald was from that first tree too. Mike McDonald was from that first. In fact, Mike McDonald was a John Harbaugh guy. I would say Jesse Minter is more of a Jim Harbaugh guy. Right? So
I wouldn't say he's more of a Jim guy. He was in Baltimore for several years. But he's if you're a Harbaugh guy, it don't matter which one. You're a Harbaugh family guy. But listen, I don't know with Ravens and the wide receivers because he was
with Jim Harbaugh in Michigan too.
Sure, but I think if you add up the total number of years, I think he was probably close to the same with both. But I don't know. I have to check again. I'm just saying, look, I remember a guy who Carolina got from Baltimore, actually. He was a wide receiver, super hard worker, real team guy, played special teams all day, did anything the coaches wanted to do. Everybody loved him. And they were in the playoffs one year, and they were losing. They were coming back. Cam was leading them down the field. They got into the red zone, and Cam threw, no joke, a perfect pass. And this dude was, he was covered, but he had a half step on the guy, right?
That's against New Orleans.
And it was against New Orleans. And he slid down, towards the pylon, and he put his arms up like this, like that to catch the ball. And the ball went right through like it was a basketball hoop. That guy's name was Kalen Clay. I'll tell you what, I would rather that he spit in Cam Newton's face and caught that ball than be a great teammate and let it go flying through his hands and we lose that playoff game. Look, I would rather he spit in his face.
Talent skill is 1A, 1B. Everything else comes after that.
On TV.
Yeah,
I would prefer that.
You have to be able to play first. We'll work out everything else later. I do not care about attitudes. As long as as long as you're not getting in trouble to the point where you can't play on Sunday,
Right,
right?
Rice.
And you're not running the wrong routes on purpose. Like you're not trying to tank the team, but you're just okay. You got a little attitude. I don't care about attitude.
Everybody who's played with Aaron Rodgers, apparently,
right. But we're all adults, right? And the head coach is supposed to be the biggest adult in a room, and he's got to be able to manage that. And if he's not able to manage that, that says something.
Kwame says Brashad Perryman is trying to get back in the league. In what capacity, sir?
Like position coach, you know what I'm saying?
Because I know you don't mean a wide receiver.
Equipment manager, like what are we talking about?
I know you don't see. I know you wasn't talking about wide receiver. I wish Cam had a diva. Exactly. Moran was out there throwing to Ted Ginn and Jericho Cotchery in front of 100 million people.
Marcus Fraser says, I'd rather trade Jettas or Marvin Harrison before AJ. Honestly, I don't care what order. Trade for. I don't care what order you guys have it in. Give me any one of those guys. Right? Like, yes.
Or Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think you can get him out of Detroit as well.
Yeah. Chris Olave. I said somebody said Chris Olave earlier.
Yep. You know who else you can probably get right now? And granted, it'd be a little bit of a project considering what happened this year, but Brian Thomas. Go ask them about Brian Thomas, who they just decided is all of a sudden their number 4 receiver after a 1,200-yard rookie season.
There are some guys out there. I'm really curious to see what moves they make this offseason. And all the things that we're saying, we are realistic. We don't expect the Ravens to do these things. We're merely pointing out these are opportunities that can be had. So when it does happen for other teams, and we say, hey, that could have been us, that's what we're talking about. There's no reason why we can't trade for one of these guys.
Listen. The Carolina Panthers traded Jonathan Mingo for a 4th-round pick. Don't tell me you can't get your deal done.
Yeah.
Anything is possible. Anything is achievable, okay? If you believe. I guess.
There you go. They all like the Brian Thomas pick. See, these are things that EDC should be thinking when we're doing the work for EDC.
Right. And it's not fair. Like, we should be getting a check. I just did the draft for Dan Morgan in our Discord. Like, come on, man. I like the job that Dan's doing. Like, don't get me wrong, but like, I'm doing it better.
There are a lot of players out there that we could look at. They may not be openly advertised by their teams, but if you call them, they might be like Harry Roseman, like, what you offering? Yeah. So, all right. I promised me this would not be a long stream. I promised myself this would not be a long stream because
you lied again.
I am tired. Thursdays,
you lied again.
Usually on Thursdays, I go to bed at 8:00. I don't even make it to the Thursday night football game. I always say, hey, I'm gonna watch it, and then I'm out. Only because it's my son's birthday, and I had to go get him, and we had did a birthday celebration and everything, and that's why I'm still up. And then this news.
Flex said, I don't want to believe. I want to win Super Bowls. How you gonna win a Super Bowl? You don't believe, Flex? How you gonna do that? How you gonna get 53 grown men, along with all the coaching staff, along with the front office, along with all the support staff, to get to that Sunday in February if they're not all pulling in the same direction?
Rome MVP says Christian Wilkins would be a great fit. I hope Mentor isn't afraid. You ain't talking about the grabbing goblin, are you?
I think he's not the one who's afraid.
Yeah,
the people with lockers in the proximity.
Listen, he went the whole season without getting picked up.
Nobody called that dude. And he was a very good player.
Yeah.
So
Chaos Diddy Jr.
he didn't do what they said he did when he got released. He did something much worse.
I never seen Josh Allen want to fight anybody except him. Right.
It's like how Colin Finnegan's the biggest asshole in the world. Andre Johnson never said a word to anyone, let alone got into a fight. And all of a sudden, one day he's ripping Finnegan's helmet off and tossing him around the field like a rag doll. Like, no, man. Like, Some people you gotta stay away from.
Yeah. That one. He was causing a problem in the locker room, right? Yeah. He wasn't just like, oh, he's just saying things and whatever. No, he was causing a problem in the locker room, right? You don't bring that to your team, you know. He ain't no worse than the Diggler. Man came in the shower, was like, bad boys. You guys are so funny, man. All right. So yes, Jesse Minter, new head coach. Welcome to Baltimore. If you didn't know by now, you know you got to hit the ground running there. And I like this. I actually like this. There is no honeymoon phase for Jesse Minter.
No.
None. And this is what me and B have been saying for years. Hold these people their feet to the fire. Hold them accountable, right? Stop being the rah-rah person for every single thing. Now, it's nothing wrong with being positive and rooting for your team and wanting the best, but you got to sniff out BS, right? And don't just go along with the program. If you say, hey man, I'm not feeling this, man, I don't like this. Question it. Question everything, right? Mm-hmm. I'm okay with the mentor hire, but yeah, like B said, you're going back and getting a Harbaugh guy. It feels like you didn't really do due diligence. You kind of went with what you know, right? And maybe that's the case. Maybe it's not. But call it out, and it's up to them to go out there and prove you wrong.
Yeah, because you all know what kind of team this is, or what kind of team it could be. Like he should be coming out of the gate, double-digit wins, winning the AFC North.
Yeah,
absolutely. And if he doesn't, yeah, that's a problem.
Flex Jones says the A hire was Clint. Maybe not. See, here's the thing. Every year there's a hot coaching candidate that we say that's the guy. That's the guy. How often do you go back and look at how those guys turned out? Because a lot of those guys aren't the guys that we thought they would be. And in fact, Steve Bisciotti, when they asked, hey, who are you looking at? And he said, hey, I want to look back at a few coaching cycles at some of these coaches that were hot candidates, but they went to a bad situation and didn't work out or whatever, because a lot of these coaches that we think, hey, they were good, they were good offensive coordinator, that'll translate to being the head coach. But offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, head coach, those are different positions.
Okay, like don't spam the chat with the nonsense. You love McDonald, you don't love Minter. They're not the same person. It's not the same situation.
Yeah. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. All right. Just post it one time. If you really want us to see your chat, hit up the super chat or hit up the Cash App, $ LBHTShow. All right. And we will get right to your comment. You set yourself up for disappointment for one guy, Mr. Flex. Just give him a chance. Hey, listen. Question them, right? If you don't like it, say, hey, we'll see. I don't really like it, but we'll see. I'm cool with that. And he gets the message that he's not getting the same benefit of the doubt, that the same grace that John Harbaugh got all these years. You have to win ASAP. I see you playing both sides. I see you. I'm not playing both sides. I like the hire. I'm cool with the hire, but you're not gonna listen. This isn't a both sides thing, right? You guys are used to this right here. This is what you guys are used to, right? You're used to defend the organization at all costs. That's what y'all are used to.
If you broke, be quiet, bro. That's all.
Right. Yeah.
It's all right.
Hey, then one comment, okay? Right. Leave one comment, and then just, hey, I hope they get to us.
Live within your means.
It's all good, man. It's all good. Oh Lord. The collective love this pick. Okay, that's fine. Hey, if you love it or hate it, only thing we're doing right now is speculating. That's all we can do is speculate. Right. So, I don't really have an opinion if you love it or you hate it. Like, that's fine. Me personally, I'm cool with it. I don't love it, but I'm cool with it. And it could be the right pick, it could be the wrong pick. But like B always says, right? Because when we said this 3-4 years ago, fire Harbaugh, and people were like, well, who are you gonna replace him with? And we were like, somebody better. And if you hire somebody and it doesn't work out, you fire him and then hire somebody better.
Luckily, and it seems like a lot of NFL fans don't think about this fact. There's no end date on the league. You can just keep on doing it until you find the right guy. Thank you very much, Donovan, for the super chat. Says some of y'all way too mad about this choice of head coach. His slate's clean right now. Save y'all anger for the coordinator pick. All right. Thank you very much.
Save your rage. Save your rage for Cliff Kingsbury.
Save your rage for when they reveal them new uniforms and y'all gonna be wearing like blue and orange next year. That's what you need to be worried about.
It's not gonna be no blue and orange.
I know y'all ain't changing nothing.
Gatekeeping powers activate. Yes. Like that. Yeah, I'm not both sides of it. I'm just not. Like I said, I'm not. I'm not going out there and being a defender of them. I like it. Minus one sub. Okay. I'm not. I'm not gonna go out there and defend this guy. He has to go out there and show it. Right. It's one of those. Okay, cool. You hired your guy. Let's see what he's gonna do. And that's part of it too. Even if they hired everybody that I wanted them to hire, Flores as the head coach, Mike McDaniel as the defensive coordinator, or Mike McDaniel as the offensive coordinator, Al Harris as the defensive coordinator. We got the dream team as the coaching staff. That's only a part of it. I'm still like, all right, cool. So now what are we doing in the free agency? Well, what are we doing in the draft?
And also, I'm sure that you all remember Carolina put together the dream team coaching staff a couple of years ago.
Yes,
that did not work.
It did not work
at all.
And we were sitting there saying it can't miss.
Right.
Yeah. So, we need pass rush. Pick Woods if Bain isn't available. First round. Defense, invest in O-line. Definitely invest in O-line though. Yeah. So just switch your comments around, right? Invest in O-line. We need O-line, and then look at pass rush and all that later. This is when we say defund the defense. This is what we mean. Don't do this. Do the opposite of that. Invest in the offense first, and then if you have some left over, then you invest in the defense. We've invested so much in this defense already. Did we get it wrong? Yeah. Oh well. But number 1, 2, and 3 priority literally is to protect Lamar Jackson. We need to re-sign Linderbaum, and we need to get 2 guards. And we need to start looking at a replacement for Ronnie Stanley. Because that's another thing too. None of y'all like Ronnie Stanley anymore. How are we gonna replace him? You got to start making that investment now, right? You got that means here's how you replace Ronnie Stanley. Sign Linderbaum, go into free agency, get you 2 guards that can be solid starters at the very least. If Emory Jones can beat out one of those guards, fine. But if not, we know we have at least 2 solid guards. So we have our guards, we have our center, we have our young right tackle and Rosengarten, right? Then you go in the first round and you draft a tackle at 14. And that tackle, right, maybe he'll play swing tackle a little bit. He rotates. Maybe he can take one of the guard spots if he's good enough. And then at some point, he can kick out to the left tackle. That's how you replace Ronnie Stanley.
Rave the Phantom says, hello, everyone. Well, classic Ravens choosing someone we don't expect or some might not want. I know it's too soon to make judgments, but I do like that he's a defensive-minded coach. Please don't draft defense. It's time to invest that high pick in the O-line. I mean, it's just criminal what they've done to Lamar in terms of the protection. But that needs to be priority 1 this offseason. And if they take care of that, then they shouldn't have too many more obstacles. Because even as currently constructed, with just Zay Flowers in the receiver room, really, because Shot Bateman's not doing a whole lot. They're still one of the better teams in the league. At least offensively, if you keep Lamar upright and let him play his game.
Yep. And we got another super chat. Thank you, Donovan.
Says also mentors more under Jim's tree than John's. One of those trees is a bigger, stronger tree with better fruits.
Yes. Yeah, I said I'm okay with Jesse Minter. I'm okay with that. Like I said, like it's somebody they felt comfortable with because he's been in the building and they know him. So yes, you feel a little iffy about that. And again, hey man, when we criticize EDC as well, right? And I gotta find that tweet. I had clipped a tweet or I had clipped a video and I put it out as a tweet about Harbaugh and EDC being a problem, and people were like, "What do you got against EDC? What do you got? Oh, not everybody should have a microphone." Okay, how you feel about EDC now?
Thank you, Marcus. He says Nestor and Lockenfora already called this a nepo hire. The haters are hating, but I give him a chance though. But invest in the O-line first. Absolutely.
Every hire in the NFL is a nepo hire.
Pretty much, yeah. Josh Hoffman, thank you very much. He said,
"What's up, Josh?"
Pushed hard for Puka. Yeah, that is true. He pushed hard for Puka Nacua to come and be a special teamer. He would have wrecked special teams in Baltimore. I fully believe that. He would have been a special team Hall of Famer in Baltimore.
First of all, John Harbaugh is the biggest snake. He's the biggest snake. Why did you put that narrative out there? Why did you put that report out there to show that, hey, I wanted this guy. He could have been here. Yeah, like B said, you wanted him here for special teams. You didn't think he was going to be that.
He's not the biggest snake. That would be the Bills owner who stopped his GM from answering to say, "Nah, man, that was on the dude I fired. This guy ain't want Keon Coleman, our second round receiver, who's still here."
He watched EDC do something similar. He said, "I can do better than that. I can. Everybody loves Steve for that. I can do better than that." Yeah. And we got another super chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It says we definitely should go offense, but if Ruben Bain falls, it'll be hard not to get him. Ruben's not going to fall, I don't think, unless there's a lot of those arm length truthers at the top of the draft. But listen, I will say, if Ruben Bain falls to 14, if he does, go ahead and grab Ruben Bain, fix the O-line. But Ruben Bain's not going to fall to 14, though. So you ain't got to worry about that.
If we do what we need to do in free agency.
Well, that's the point, and that's what Ozzie used to do, and what good GMs do is they make free agency signings to set you up to take the best player there. So you should be going into the draft with your starting center back under contract, hopefully in Baltimore, with two guards who you believe can be your day one starters and play well, Eric. Yes. And then also, listen. I know they already spent this money, but also with Isaiah Likely lining up with the starters at tight end. That's what should happen. And then you can take Ruben Bain.
Yeah. It fills a position of need. We fill some of the other holes. And also we have 8 other picks. And this is the draft of all drafts that EDC has to get right.
Yeah.
So it can't just be he hits on a first round pick. He has to hit on multiple picks. Doesn't have to be all of them. But he has to get nobody hits on all of them. He got to get at least 3 guys out this draft that can contribute sooner rather than later, right? They don't have time to develop for 4 years. Like they have to hit the ground running. So go ahead and get Ruben Bain. You got 8 more chances to get some people in here to help out. All right, you see a tackle in the second round that you think can develop to be a starting left tackle. Go for it.
Yeah,
right.
But again, Ruben's not falling to 14 though.
No,
unless his pre-draft process goes horribly wrong.
Yeah.
And I just want to point out as well, because this has been a narrative in Baltimore for a few drafts. If God forbid, obviously we don't want this to happen. We don't like to see any players get hurt. If Ruben Bain were to tear his ACL while he was working out at the combine or whatever, I promise you he'll still go in the top 10. He's not going to be, man, Ojabo was a top pick until he got hurt and then he dropped. No. Top players go at the top.
I could see, okay, not top pick, but yeah, I could see Ojabo going in the first round if he did get hurt. Like some players,
yeah, sure.
So, because some players, it's not that they have like great tape or anything like that, but like they have good measurables and like they look the part. And teams, like as long as they're healthy and they're working out well, teams
they talk themselves into certain guys.
Yeah.
And then he got hurt, and they're like, "Well, we don't need to tell that story anymore. Who else are we going to draft?"
Right, exactly.
Exactly. And that's fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with players like that because you get them in, and if you can develop players, sometimes that works out. But true elite prospects, the top guys, they go where they're supposed to go.
Yes. What's up, Cam? He says, I don't like going with Mentor. Maybe y'all can convince me otherwise. I really want a Brian Flores or Clint Kubiak. It seems like a lateral move, potentially cultural stagnation. I hope I'm wrong. Okay, well, first of all, we encourage the skepticism here. Okay, question these moves, but you never know, right? Because like these are all. Well, I mean, outside of Flores, Clint Kubiak will be a first-time head coach if he gets a job, so we don't know what he's going to be. He may not be a guy that he might just be a X's and O's guy, like Mike McDaniel, and doesn't know how to manage personalities. This job is more than just being X's and O's. You got to be able to manage the entire team.
Mm-hmm.
You got to manage egos. You got to be able to not choke in big time situations. You got to know when a player should be on the field. You got to know when you're supposed to run it or when to pass it. Like there's a lot of things going on. Not every good coordinator can handle the top job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Some guys are just coordinators, and that's fine. And they should be paid very well to do that, like Steve Spagnuolo right now. He's a great...
Some guys, and this is a leadership role. Some people aren't leaders.
Yeah. Right? But I mean, listen, I don't think it's a lateral move. I mean, John... And that's not to say that John's going to do a bad job in New York. I think he's going to do a good job in New York. But in Baltimore, it wasn't working anymore. So him leaving Baltimore and you bringing in Jesse Minter is going to be a positive. Just because you're going to have a different message, a different philosophy. You're going to start doing things a little differently. And like the complacency is going to be gone. You're going to shake up the organization a bit. And that's what they needed. John Harbaugh he may be a better coach than Jesse Minter, but he wasn't in Baltimore these last few years. He can go to New York and, spit that Harbaugh message to the Giants, and they'll eat it up, and they'll get turned around, and they'll be a respectable team. And it just wasn't going that way in Baltimore anymore. So, moving on from him is a plus probably for both of you.
Yeah. Jeremy says, watching on the replay, the Harbaugh connection still lives on in Baltimore. But Jeremy, we're still alive.
Like, why are you watching the replay? What do you mean?
Well, whenever you catch up to this part, he
why not here?
I respect it. I appreciate it, Jeremy. I appreciate that. All right, a couple more. We get out of here. Luke, what's going on? Says worst possible choice for a head coach, in my opinion. Wow. Okay, the worst.
The worst, my man said. Listen, either who else learned defense under Mike Macdonald, Zach Orr. Okay, but Zach Orr wasn't ready to be a defensive coordinator. Jesse Minter is a defensive coordinator, and he's very good at it.
And his defense was better than ours.
Yeah. So, I mean, Zach. And listen, just because you had the same teacher, don't mean you're the same student.
Facts.
Not at all.
No. Mentor has a lot more experience than Zach Orr as a coach. A lot more experience, actually. Right. Zach Orr, like his story isn't written yet, man. Like he could turn out to be a good coach. He's still, he's still young and he doesn't have that much experience. Mentor is young, but he's been coaching for I think it's like 20 years already.
Yeah, he's 40. And like I said, he's already gotten that defensive coordinator job. He's already proven himself there. So, now that doesn't mean he's going to be a great head coach, but he's further along than Zach Orr is at this point.
Yeah. Cam says he appreciates us. We appreciate you, Cam.
Thank you, Cam.
Appreciate your insight, guys. Appreciate you, Luke. Thank you guys for coming through here on Thursday when we shouldn't be here. Okay. But hey, breaking news happens and we have to deliver. All right. I hope we don't get Cliff. No way. Okay, but if I mean, take this with a big grain of salt. This is reported by Diana Rossini. I'm not saying that she's bad at her job. I'm just saying ESPN does a bad job. Okay. Especially reporting on Lamar. I don't know what's true or what's not, but according to her, Lamar Jackson and other wide receivers were vocal about wanting Cliff Kingsbury to get that job. I didn't know they knew him like that, right? I didn't know that. But if it's true that they're like, hey, get Cliff, then you get Cliff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because especially if it's multiple players, it's not just Lamar, it's multiple players saying, get him. The confidence part is already built there. Yeah. They're getting somebody that they're going to buy into. That's a big part of it too. The players got to buy into your scheme. So if they're buying into it, that's half the battle.
Yeah. Now you still have to do your due diligence, obviously, and interview them and everything. Because this situation would be a lot like owners, where owners are like, yeah, man, I'm 100% on board. Go ahead and draft EJ Manuel in the first round. And then a couple of years later, he's like, you made a mistake, bro. You got to go.
How could you do this to us?
I don't know who told you to draft EJ Manuel, but you need to pack up and get out. And it's going to be the same thing here. Like, they're like, yeah, man, bring in Cliff. We love Cliff. We want Cliff. And then you're the number 23 offense, and Lamar comes in the office like, yo, you messed up. Like, yes. Why you hire Cliff?
Yeah.
This ain't working.
And this is where Bashai can show that he doesn't have all the power, right? But I don't know. Cliff Kingsbury's here. I don't know. Hollywood and Lamar probably talked about him. Yeah, I can see that. Wait, was Hollywood there?
He went to, I think he was with the Cardinals when he was there.
Okay.
There you go. I say with, not played for, because obvious reasons. Yeah.
Do you know Lamar gave the thumbs up for Minter? I don't know. I would imagine so.
Y'all might be shocked to find this out, but they don't generally invite us over there. I don't think they're big fans of the show.
That's crazy.
It is. All we've done is try to help them do their job.
I've been hearing that they've been asking about us a lot. We got a super chat here. Thank you, Wandering Raven. Appreciate y'all. I just want to say before I read this, I see what you guys are doing. Every time I say we about to get out of here, that's when the super chats start rolling in. Right? I told B last Saturday I was only going to stream for 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. And he was none the wiser. He was sitting on the couch watching the game like he thought I was doing. And you know,
got an email at the end.
Got an email. Yeah, checking the analytics, and he was like, and he texted me. He's like, I know you didn't just stream for 2 hours, bro. And I was like, hey man, they was donating. I'm sorry, but Wandering Raven, thank you for the super chat. Says, right, Jose, my disappointment in this hire is with EDC. It feels stubborn and like a double down on his investment on defense. Yeah, Minter could be great. I'm waiting to see what EDC does this off season offensively. It does feel that way. I get you, right? But also, look, to defend EDC, not even defend, to explain this a little bit is he's made a lot of picks that haven't worked out. And Steve Bisciotti alluded to this in the press conference about players. He made it about the offensive line, but I'm pretty sure they had a deeper conversation off camera, right? Where it's like, these guys have to start developing. And if him and Ozzy feel like they've been making the right picks, but they just haven't been coached up well, and seeing what Mike Minter did with Owe as soon as he left the building, right? I can see why they're looking at him like, hey, we can bring this guy in here and he can make this defense become the type of defense that we envisioned it to be.
Kwame says Hollywood didn't do anything in AZ, fam. Well, he had 700 yards in 12 games the year he was there with Cliff Kingsbury. And more to the point, we weren't talking about his production in Arizona, just that he played for Cliff Kingsbury. And if he's still friends with Lamar, would have been able to tell Lamar about Cliff Kingsbury.
Well, here we go. Kwame giving us the real insider information. Thank you, Kwame. Says, here y'all go. Rossini has acknowledged receiving incorrect information from sources, a common issue for insiders, but maintains her role in reporting. Unquote. And this is Kwame. This is in regards to Lamar asking about Cliff.
I think he's just talking about in general that she's acknowledged that before.
Okay. I
think. But but yes, that happens. That happens to the best reporters. Get incorrect info, and it is their job because they're not journalists. It is their job to just report things that they hear, report rumors, because that's what sports talk is 95% of the time.
But some get overzealous and they report it as if they get it firsthand, right? And if you're saying, I know for a fact Lamar has said these things vocally, then that tells me that you spoke to him. You got that from him. You got a quote.
I know for a fact that I heard it from my friend. All right.
Now Josina, like, even though she puts some things out there that are wrong sometimes, but she says,
he said it is in reference to the Lamar issue. I'm sorry to interrupt. Okay. It is in reference to Lamar.
Gotcha. Okay.
Thank you, Kwame.
Because thank you. Appreciate that. Because Josina will say, this is what I'm hearing, right? Yeah. And that's different from this is what I know. Hey, this is what I'm hearing. And if it's wrong, then it's wrong. And thank you. Be weird, man.
This is weird, bro. I'm here to get a super chat and keep you here longer. Especially with Kingsbury as OC, at least teams won't throw bombs on us.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Be weird.
Thank you. We
got another super chat here. Osman, I have a question. Why is EDC still here? Maybe Steve thought it would be too much change all at once to get rid of both of them.
Hey, thank you all for the super chats. But seriously, if you we appreciate the donations, consider becoming a Patreon member, channel member. Right, you can sign up on YouTube for the channel membership. Patreon.com/LBHTShow. That pin link in the chat box will take you there. You get extra content. We do an overtime show every Wednesday night after the main show. All right. Also, you get access to our Discord channel. And once you're in Discord, you're in. Doesn't matter if you stay a member or not. We don't kick anybody out of the Discord as long as you're being respectful. All right. Also, if you like coins, you like collector's coins, we got one for the $10 tier. We got 2 people that signed up this week. Thank you so much, Brick. I'm going to send this out to you. I'm going to send this out to you guys ASAP. All right.
God made me says Mincher will unlock Mike Green and Starks. Hopefully.
I hope so. Yeah.
Hopefully, like he did Oweh. Oweh thrived under Minter. Hopefully he does the same for Mike Green.
I did see that video of Minter coaching up Derwin James and like explaining to him like footwork and like placement, like where to be and all that stuff, and from what I could tell, all the players love, like the defensive players love Mike Minter. Like they rave about him. Eric Weddle came out today.
Mike Minter, but we're talking about Jesse.
Jesse Minter. So, yeah, I'm sorry, Mike. Yeah, everyone loves
Carolina Panther legend. Mike
but they seem to love Jesse Minter and but that's what I'm talking about. Really buying into what the coach is saying. Yeah. So if you got somebody that feels that passionate, or players that feel that passionate about a coach, that's half the battle. Yeah.
What's up, Suge? He says Lie's been kicked out twice. No, but you also released Patreon material out to the
You're also being disrespectful. All right. Okay. We're getting out of here for real. All right. Still 175 people in here. Man, appreciate that. Hit that like button on your way out. The hype button, I'm not sure if the hype button happens on live streams. They got the hype thing now.
Yeah.
But if you watch the replay, click on that hype button, you get points. I'm not exactly sure how that all works, but YouTube wants you to click.
Yeah, they're probably worthless, but listen, everybody loves getting points.
It's engagement, right? Yeah. It's an engagement thing, and any way you engage with the show helps push this out, helps the algorithm push it out to other people. So you guys have been great to us lately, man. Engagement has been awesome. Keep it up. Kyle Hamilton, Defensive Player of the Year this year? No,
he's on next year.
Next year? No.
Hey, maybe.
Is Myles Garrett retiring?
Myles Garrett ain't gonna get 23 sacks again.
He might get 22.
And I just want to say, shame on you, NFL, for not even including Derek Brown in the Comeback Player of the Year finalist.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Disgusting.
I didn't like that.
Absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
Now I'm in a bad mood. Kyle Hamilton could absolutely win Defensive Player of the Year if they get them into a more attacking mode and he starts, actually intercepting the ball, because he is a fantastic player. He is great once he gets the ball in his hands. He could absolutely win it. I'm just, hire Al Harris. If you want Kyle Hamilton to be Defensive Player of the Year, hire Al Harris.
I like I'll say I'm cool with the pick. I'm cool with the Jesse Minter pick. I like the skepticism that people have of him. This is what we've been saying. Hold the team accountable. They all know that they have to get it right here. This isn't one of those, we hire him because we like him, and it is what it is. Like, fans will be happy. Fans are still not happy. Fans are still looking at it like, all right, but what you gonna do? Right? And EDC, his job isn't safe. So pressure makes diamonds. All right. So hopefully we get some nice diamonds this offseason and going into next season. This is exactly what the Ravens needed. What you reading?
I love fans. Apparently, Nick Bonito, who has less sacks than Brian Burns, gets Defensive Player of the Year nod, but not Burns. These awards are a sham. Your team won -3 games. All right. Nick Bonito got sacks in games that matter. But, you're right, though.
Yeah.
Shout out to Brian Burns. No hard feelings.
Charles doesn't like the hire. He says you fire Harbaugh and hire Harbaugh light. How do you know if he's Harbaugh light? You've never seen him be a head coach before.
Maybe he's Harbaugh 3.0.
Right. Is Mike McDonald Harbaugh light? Look, if you're mad that Harbaugh's gone, I mean, he's still coaching.
Why is Myles Garrett there then? Because he broke an NFL record, Ferris.
Yeah, I think you know why. All right. We are out of here. B, are you ready?
I am ready.
All right. Listen, as more information comes out, you'll see some videos from us or people in our circle. Us, Hendo from the Road Pod, Yolanda from Ravens Talk with Yolanda, Coach Evans from Sip to Tally Films, our guy Sutton who was in here earlier from Purple Rain Podcast. What are you laughing at, B?
NFL record of being a loser. Sorry.
All right. On that note, we are out of here. Y'all be great. We'll see you next time. Peace.